Imagine a young prince in Renaissance Italy. Surrounded by enemies, betrayed by allies, he sits in his castle, unsure whom to trust. One wrong move, and he loses everything. This was the world Niccolò Machiavelli lived in. A world of politics, deception, and survival. And out of this chaos he wrote The Prince, a guide not just for rulers, but for anyone navigating power and respect. Now fast forward to today. Maybe you're not a prince, but think about your life. At work, maybe your ideas get ignored while someone less qualified gets the credit. In relationships, maybe you give everything and still don't get the respect you deserve. Pause and ask yourself this. Why do some people command respect effortlessly, while others beg for scraps of attention? The answer lies in understanding human psychology, the Machiavellian way. Today I'll show you 9 laws from Machiavelli that will change the way people treat you, in love, in life, and in every relationship. But remember, this is not about manipulation. It's about protection, influence, and self-mastery. Law 1. The power of distance. Machiavelli wrote, "Familiarity breeds contempt." A powerful ruler once held banquets every night, inviting nobles and friends. At first, everyone adored him. But the more they saw him, the more casual they became, mocking him, underestimating him. Contrast that with another leader who appeared rarely. Each appearance felt sacred. His words carried weight because they weren't given cheaply. Think about texting someone non-stop. At first, they might enjoy it, but soon your presence loses value. Compare that to the person who takes time, who leaves space. Suddenly, their attention feels priceless. Reflect on this. Do you make yourself too available? Respect grows in the space you leave. Create distance, and people lean in. Law 2. Control the narrative. According to Machiavelli, everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. Julius Caesar carefully shaped how Rome saw him. He wrote his own war accounts, framing victories and minimizing losses. By the time he returned to Rome, people saw him as unstoppable because he controlled the story. On social media, some overshare everything: problems, drama, insecurities. Do people respect them? Rarely. But the one who shares selectively, who posts wins, values, and mystery, builds intrigue and authority. Ask yourself, are you letting others write your story, or are you controlling it? Be the editor of your narrative. Don't reveal everything. Share with intention. Law 3. Detachment from approval. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. A prince once depended on his advisors' approval. They flattered him, but behind his back they mocked him. Another ruler didn't care about being liked, only respected. The flatterers feared betraying him because he didn't need them. At work, the desperate employee who needs everyone's approval gets ignored. But the one who can say no, who can walk away from bad deals, earns respect. Pause and ask yourself this. Whose approval do you crave the most? What would change if you stopped needing it? Detachment is strength. If you don't fear loss, no one controls you. Law 4. Strategic silence. Machiavelli once said, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." In a negotiation between 2 generals, one spoke endlessly, trying to convince. The other sat silent, listening, letting pauses stretch. Eventually, the talkative general revealed his entire plan. while the silent one gave away nothing. Guess who won? During an argument, silence unsettles the other person. They rush to fill the space, often exposing more than they intended. Next time you're asked a tough question, pause. Count to 3 before answering. Watch how the room shifts. Silence is a weapon. Use it sparingly, but powerfully. Law 5. Adapt like water. A prince must imitate the fox and the lion, according to Machiavelli. The lion shows strength. The fox shows cunning. Machiavelli argued that leaders who use both, adapting to the situation, survived longer than those who chose one. In dating, some only show toughness, others only softness. The ones who blend both, strength with charm, command true respect. Think about it. Are you always the lion or always the fox? How can you switch when needed? Adaptation isn't fake, it's intelligence. Law 6. Protect your reputation ruthlessly. According to Machiavelli, a prince must avoid being despised and hated. When word spread that a duke was cruel, even allies turned against him. But another leader protected his name fiercely, punishing slander and rewarding loyalty. His reputation preceded him, and that reputation was power. One scandal can ruin a career. Celebrities and CEOs spend millions protecting their image because they know once your reputation falls, so does respect. Ask yourself, what do people say when you're not in the room? That's your real reputation. Defend it calmly, strategically. Law 7. Master controlled exposure. Machiavelli once said, "Men judge more by the eye than by the hand." A Venetian merchant never revealed his full wealth. Competitors underestimated him until he crushed them with resources they didn't know he had. In relationships, if you reveal everything too fast, mystery dies. But the person who reveals layers slowly keeps curiosity alive. I want you to pause and ask yourself this. Are you oversharing your strengths or leaving space for discovery? Reveal gradually. Make your presence feel like a story unfolding. Law 8. Obsession with outcomes. According to Machiavelli, the promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present. One general was known for grand speeches, but lost battles. Another spoke little, but always returned victorious. Guess who history remembers? At work, many talk about how hard they try. Few deliver results. The ones who get results, even quietly, are the ones promoted. Ask yourself this question. Do you want to look impressive or be impressive? Respect doesn't come from effort. It comes from results. Law 9. Be the unpredictable force. Machiavelli once wrote, "It is a double pleasure to deceive the deceiver." When enemies thought they understood Alexander the Great's tactics, he would suddenly change strategy, keeping them terrified. If you're always predictable in relationships, people get comfortable. But when you surprise them, a bold move, a sudden shift, you command attention. When was the last time you shocked people with your decision-making? Don't be chaotic, but don't be boring either. Pick one law this week. Practice silence. Practice distance. Or protect your reputation. Comment below which law you'll start with. Notice how people treat you differently. Respect rises when you apply these principles. Power without ethics destroys, but power with wisdom builds. These laws aren't about control, they're about freedom. Freedom from manipulation, disrespect, and weakness. I want you to pause and reflect. Will you use them to dominate or to elevate? Respect isn't begged for. It's commanded by strength, clarity, and strategy. Which law resonated most with you? Drop it in the comments. If you want more psychology, strategy, and influence content, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. And remember this: stay strategic, stay ethical, stay powerful,